What's up guys, MrVerry here, and today I am going to be showing you the Corym Cave in Port Hope. So to give you some perspective, the Port Hope Depot is right northeast. Straight east are the training statues for offline training in Port Hope. And you can see I've upgraded my equipment. I've got a Beast Slayer axe now, which has 35 attack, boots of haste, a warrior helmet, so a little bit better stuff. And I gave this character some life rings so that he didn't have to eat through supplies so quickly. So I will show you guys this area now. And this area is a little dangerous for lower levels. These guys can do pretty significant damage. Not so much the charlatans, but the skirmishers. I feel like the skirmishers deal the most damage, and the vanguards are considered the strongest, but they don't really hurt me that bad as a knight. I don't know. But these guys do drop a lot of different items that are worth a decent amount of gold, and they can be sold to Rafson, who's an NPC in Venor, I believe. So as a knight, if you're just looking to make some quick money, as well as these guys give really good experience. I was making 70k an hour here on my boost on this character the other day, even up to 80k, which for, you know, a level 33 knight, that's really good. And now we're going against a skirmisher, and you can see how much more damage he deals in comparison to the charlatans. So yeah, I know I haven't been making a ton of videos lately, guys, and that's been because, you know, the American servers have been off, and I've also been a little caught up with taking care of some stuff in real life, but, you know, I'm always going to be back, even if I do take a small break. And I do plan on doing some Adrenus videos soon. I wanted to do some lower level videos just because, you know, I haven't really done too many yet, and I know a lot of my viewers are lower levels, and I know you guys want to see areas that would be good for you or could potentially be good for you to hunt in. So that's what I try to bring you. And in my opinion, the best thing to kill here are the vanguards if you can handle them. If you don't want to kill vanguards, they are quite avoidable. On this floor, there's mostly just skirmishers and charlatans, and charlatans are cake. As you can see, they barely do any damage to me, and I crush them. But to the southwest here, there's two vanguards on this floor, so if you're trying to avoid vanguards, that's just to let you know they're here. But I'm going to take them on to show you just how strong they are, or in my opinion, how weak. They do have a lot more HP than the skirmishers, and they do heal, but they really don't do that great of damage. And you should stand sideways so as to avoid their waves. They're basically like the magic users of these guys. And we get a leather harness, which is worth like 750 gold, so already we're making good money. And you can see the Vanguard is going back and forth with me, and then I take him out, get 735 experience on boost, and 68 gold. They always drop a lot of gold, and that's why I would suggest hunting them if you feel like your character is able to do so profitably. A little lag, just a little spike. Not too bad though. And the Vanguard is now running, which they do at very low health. I believe they're the only Corym that does run at low health. So I'm not going to show this whole floor. I'm actually going to run on downstairs and start doing that floor, and we'll see what my EXP per hour is. Right now it's at 21k, but that's just starting. If I start using Exori Eco more frequently, and without really caring about less profit or not, you can really tell the difference. So that hole's a little crazy. Can I handle it? Yeah. Do I want to do that? Not really. I'm gonna go to this other hole here and see if I can get a little bit of a easier drop down, or if there's a spot where I can put myself into just 2 squares so that only 2 things can get to me at once. I've talked about this before, that if you want to take the minimum amount of damage from creatures, don't get more than 2 on you at once. So we drop down here and we have a Charlatan, a Skirmisher, and a Vanguard. Actually, it looks like we've got much more than that, so we got a couple Vanguards, which is actually a little scary. And a Skirmisher, so it's kind of looking like I should retreat for safety, but I don't know. I'm trying. Why the fuck? Alright, so as you can see, I am trying to deal with the Skirmishers first, as they are the primary damage dealers, and honestly, this is the first time I've had this many attacking me all at once. And we take care of most of them, so now it's just down to the few Vanguards. And taking on 2 Vanguards at once isn't really a big deal. Unfortunately, one of them usually will get the wave on you, but... And I was hoping that Eco would finish him off, but I didn't get so lucky. And we get 92 gold, so you can see how much gold they actually do drop, which is one of the big reasons for hunting here, and the fact that their items, the Rat Tana sells for 500, the leather harness is 750, and the experience here is great. After such a rough battle like that, I'd like to see what the... Yeah, I'm up to 34k an hour now, so that's really nice. And the bolas are really heavy. They weigh 5, and they only are worth like 30 gold or something, so I don't really pick those up. The main creature products I focus on here are the cheese cutters and the ear flaps. And once you get, one hole cleared, it's pretty easy from there on out. You just have to kind of, take it somewhat slow. Don't just rush in, and you really don't have too many problems. And we're going to check my life ring. 9 minutes left. And you can do this with worse skills than I have. I mean, I have 8375 or something. Let's check. Yep, 83, almost 76. And I was doing this back when I was like level 70, or back when not level 70, sorry. Back when I had like 70, like 2 or 3 axe fighting. And yeah, I didn't do nearly as much damage, and I was getting beat up a little more. But it's still very fast experience, and I hardly see anyone in this cave. Actually, I've never seen anyone else in this cave. So definitely a good area. And one of these guys has a chance of, I believe it's the Skirmishers, maybe the Vanguards. They have a very small chance of dropping a Rat God doll or something, and those are worth a bunch. Also, they do drop items that are nice for lower level characters, like the Spiky Club. It's one of the best level 20 clubs. So, sorry about that, phone was ringing. And like I said, I like the charlatans a lot because they're just so easy and they do give a solid amount of experience as well as a good amount of gold, and they have a chance of dropping some rares. I don't know exactly how much the Rat God doll is worth, but I know it's worth quite a lot because it is quite rare. But you know, the more you hunt these things, the more of a chance you have of looting it. And we get a cheese cutter and a spike shield, and they drop the spike shields, which have 28 defense. Not too great, a little bit better than a tusk shield, about as good as actually as good as a beholder shield, just to give you guys a point of reference. So definitely not bad though. So I get a nice hit. So far, the nicest hit I've seen was a 215 on a Vanguard. Um, it's crazy what offline training will do for you, huh? But we're going to see what my EXP per hour is up to now. It is up to 53k an hour, and I'm sure it will only get higher as we go. And already, 800 gold and well over about 1.5k in items and creature products looted. And I think it may be more profitable to use health potions than mana potions at this level. I'm not really sure, but I prefer to use mana potions because I'd rather get my magic level up. I mean, even as a knight, a magic level is still important. Of course, it's not nearly as important as it is being a mage or a paladin, but it matters. And we get a Vanguard and a Charlatan. Ooh, a 224 on the Vanguard. That was a nice hit. Very brutal. And I put him through the one way so that only he can get to me for now. And now he is trying to run. And gets a nice little poison wave on me. And a cheesy figurine, which is worth 150 gold. That's one of the creature products I forgot to mention. I don't know if they're edible, but you should not eat it, obviously. It's much better to just eat the other cheeses they drop and sell that for the 150 gold that it's worth. And we're going to check our EXP now, up to 63.9k an hour. So hopefully I can get it up to around 80, which is where it was at before. And we get a decent amount on us here. 2 skirmishers and a Vanguard. So this floor is definitely for, you know, a little bit higher levels. I would say to be at least 25 or higher. I mean, even 25, it would be a little scary down here. I would actually recommend 30. And, of course, you have to take it slow, be aware of the spawns, what's around you, and make sure that you don't get overwhelmed. And if you do, try to find areas that you can run to get, you know, less hitting you at once. Like that little one way to the south I was just at. And we're going to check that life ring. It's got 3 minutes left. Up to 65.5k an hour. And our good Vanguard friend here is taking off per usual. And we're going to see 70, yep, up to 71k an hour. So I'm not going to check anymore. Obviously, you guys can see how much experience can be made here. You know, easily up to 80k, even at level 30, which is just crazy. That's a lot of experience. So definitely one of the fastest spots to level, especially as a knight. I haven't tried other vocations here yet. I feel like paladins would do well here with royal spears. Actually, I think they would do really well here with royal spears. And I'm not sure about their elemental weaknesses or resistances, so I'm not sure about mages and, well, sorcerers and druids. You guys would have to check that out on your own and maybe give some feedback on the comments so that, you know, everyone else knows if it's a good idea for them or not. And I am getting mobbed, which is fun right as I'm starting to lag. But we're going to make it through this. Hopefully. So far, so good. Crushing the charlatan so that I don't get shield broken by the last two. And now just going after the skirmisher. We're going to check that Vanguard, 57. So you can see that the Vanguards do drop a ton of gold, like I've said earlier. Really nice. And while they do have a lot of health, they don't really heal for much, and they're pretty easy to bring down. So I am going to come up on this side of the cave, which of course has a ton of skirmishers, which are mean. Like I said, ooh, Jesus Christ. That was rough. The hell is going on? Alright. So, I don't think skirmishers can see invisible, and they can't. So if you guys want to bring a stealth ring to be safe when you come up or down the holes, I would suggest doing that because you just saw how much damage I took all at once there. This character almost just ate the dust, very unfortunately so. The skirmishers, while they don't hit hard all the time, they can get really nice hits in, so especially with shield break, you know, having more than one on you. And I don't know if you can go on this. Nope, you can't walk on that blue glowing mushroom, or else that would be real nice. You know, that's a spot where you'd only be getting hit by one thing, but of course you can't walk on it. So I take my stealth ring off in order to switch back to my life ring. So for you knights who are doing the crocodile tasks and are getting those life rings, I would say save those life rings until you have good enough equipment or skills or level or whatever it is that you are lacking to hunt here. Bring them here so that you can get crazy fast experience. You can see that I'm sticking right around 70k. Of course, I'm not staying downstairs. Staying downstairs, I get 80. And I've almost already gotten level 34 in the short amount of time that this video took. So definitely check this area out, guys, and let me know what you think. And hopefully we can get something neat. I would be very surprised if we got like a rat god doll. That would just be awesome. Like I said, I don't know what they're worth. I just know that they're very rare. So I know that, you know, a lot of collectors would probably pay a pretty decent amount. Like I said, if you want to check it out, you guys know where to go to do so. And there should be a skirmisher along with these charlatans. So and dropping the charlatans real quickly before the skirmisher comes, and onto the skirmisher. So almost level 35, well 34, but you know, 35 for the next weapon upgrade, which is awesome. Looking forward to switching to the Noble Axe and Fire Axe for this character. You know, getting in that extra damage and also having the ability to do fire damage all the time without having to use small enchanted rubies. So, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, comment on this video, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel if you enjoy the content I produce. Thanks for watching, guys.